Hello everyone, Gerald here. I'm going ahead and updating my Stay on Target achievement video because my last one, I just received a comment that basically said that my guide was useless and I don't want it to be useless. So I decided to drop everything today and then make a video just to make sure everybody's happy. I'm trying to make it as easy as possible so that way you're not having to, watch crazy hour-long videos on the G1000 or paying $179 to Keen, which I do recommend. Keen's is a great ground school, but that's a 7-hour long course if you want to learn the G1000. This does work on the Xbox and it does work on the PC. I used my youngest son's PC and his hardware to confirm, and he got the achievement automatically, and then I used my oldest son's Series X with a controller, and it also got the achievement. So this method definitely works. So the first thing you want to do is in your options, go to Assistance Options, and then select True to Life. And that was a big thing that people were telling me last time. So it seems like if you have like custom or easy, it's not going to work. And then we're going to go to the world map. So we're going to keep it simple. I want everybody from, people on Game Pass to, people on Steam. I want them to be able to use this method and follow along. So we're going to, stick with the default Cessna 172 Skyhawk with the G1000 cockpit. Our departure is going to be KMPR McPherson, and we're going to take off from runway 36. Our arrival is going to be KSLN. Now before you do anything, underneath the aircraft selection window, you're going to do the drop down where it says VFR and do IFR, low altitude airways. Underneath Salina on the 2 section, do the approach drop down and scroll down to RNAV 35. You should have 4 waypoints in between KMPR and KSLN. I'm not sure how you would say that, but you got Lennon, Digby, and Geisy. And then go ahead and fly. I'm doing this all in one take so that way everybody can follow along, just to make sure that they can retrace their steps. If you want to, you can fast forward to certain areas if you want to, or you can pause it, what have you. But I'm going to try to make it as simple as I can so people can follow along and you can see where I'm clicking. Alright, we're going to go ahead and hit ready to fly. Close out the checklist, close out the ATC. Okay, so we're going to be basically looking inside the whole time. Thanks to that synthetic vision on the primary display, you really don't have to look out. Granted, I wouldn't recommend that in real life. But the only thing you really need to do in here is take your altitude knob, the big one. There's going to be a small one, that's for increments of 100s, and the big knob is going to be your increment of 1000s. You're going to take the big knob and we're going to go up to 4000. And that's basically it. I'm going to go ahead and take off the parking brake, and we're going to take off. I was having issues earlier with this aircraft. It seems like no matter how much right rudder I was putting in, it just wanted to keep veering left. Alright. So as you start gaining altitude and speed, I'll kind of add a little bit more. You can try to keep between, 500 and 1,000 feet per minute for the climb. Once you are in a pretty good spot, go ahead and on your autopilot control header over here, you're going to go ahead and hit autopilot on, your nav mode on, and then to help us get up to 4,000, go ahead and hit vertical speed. I already hit 700 feet per minute, but nose up, nose down if need be to reach your 700. So say if you did it shows 1,000, you would do nose down, and then if you're at like level or below or just under 700, you would do nose up. And that's basically it. we're just gonna sit here and wait till the aircraft gets up to 4,000 feet, and then I'll show you what to do. The next step is gonna take place just right after linen over here if you want to fast forward. So I would probably, if you're scrubbing, trying to fast forward, yeah, it'd be right around here for linen. There's actually one thing that I didn't do. You can completely disregard what I'm saying. This is just something that I usually do. This is definitely not right, because I fly with live weather and live time. So this right here, I know that barometric pressure is wrong, but I'm just going to leave it at 299 or 2. Because usually during this time of the year, the pressure is much greater. We're probably like 400, 600 feet off, to be quite honest, but it's alright. It doesn't affect anything right now. So yeah, just to recap, we're just going up to 4,000 feet. Autopilot on, nav mode on, vertical speed on, until you reach 4,000, and then this will automatically turn off. So you should only have autopilot on and nav on when you reach altitude. Okay, well, we're at 4,000 right now. So just to verify, autopilot on, nav on, vertical speed off. It'll start its turn in 3 seconds, but we won't hit the actual waypoint until 6. Pull this mixture out just a little bit. Yep, so we got about another 3 minutes and 13 seconds until we hit linen. For the people that already skipped ahead to linen, basically what I'm about to tell them is it's got that hold in there. So in most cases, like in real life, if it's not that bad, or you don't request it, or you're not practicing it, you typically won't do that hold. You know, in Salina, they'll basically okay you straight, you know, vector to final. So that's really annoying when it comes to the flight simulator, because if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to end up flying this circle until you run out of fuel. So I'm going to show you how to get out of that hold, or just completely disregard it without having to learn all of these buttons. Nice little headwind. That's the only thing that I hate about the Cessna 172. This thing gets thrown around everywhere. Take for example, you know, like the 208, the Grand Caravan, or say like a Kodiak Quest 100. Those complex turboprops, those things just eat through the wind gusts. go. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I was not a big fan of the Xbox controller for the flight simulator. Because on my PC, what I'm using right now is actually the Honeycomb Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie. So I got the Alpha Yoke, the Bravo Throttle Quadrant, and then I got my Charlie rudder pedals. It definitely feels a lot better to me, to be quite honest. Plus you got all these buttons, so you're not having to finick around and memorize a bunch of shortcuts on your keyboard. Seconds to go. Okay, so we just now hit Lennon. If you look over here on our primary, you'll see that we're going from Lennon to Digby initial approach fix. We don't want that because when we hit Digby, it's going to put us in this hold and you're going to be sitting here flying circles forever. So we want to avoid that. We don't want to sit there and listen to ATC tell us when to go and whatnot. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and over here, seeing Digby initial approach fix, we're going to go hit procedures. We're going to hit enter for activate vector to final, so that way we don't have to deal with that circle. So now you should see a nice long pink line going straight to runway 35. And you should see Geisy final approach fix. When you see that, you can go ahead back to your autopilot control header and you're going to see APR for approach mode. You can go ahead and turn that on. And now you basically just wait. Just wait for it to go to the runway. Eventually the glide slope, this diamond right here, will start to move down. Basically what you want to do is you want to have it right in the middle and then follow it all the way down. But since we're having the autopilot do everything, including the land, it'll do it for you eventually. So when the glide slope hits the middle here, it'll override our 4,000 altitude and it'll start following it down. So you'll start seeing your altitude dip. By the time we hit Geisy, will be that in the previous videos people were really upset about the whole Flory NDB situation. I mean, it's still somewhat glitched. Like, I think I flew this approach on my oldest and I saw it just glitch there for a second, and then I had like flashbacks to when people were yelling at me about not seeing Flory, and it's just because it really didn't want to do it. But once we get up to Geisy, you'll see like an O up here, and you may hear a tone. I have mine muted already based on the sound options, but if you get annoyed with the boop 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 boop, you can go over here to your marker mute right here in the middle and then turn it on, so that way you don't have to listen to it beep at you. So as you can see, the glide slope is already right there in the middle. It's already starting to go down by itself. you look right here on your primary flight display, you should kind of make out Salina. Oh, there you go. There's your auto marker. Start making out the airport out there in the distance. Of course, if you look up, you'll see it. SKW 5077. Who's that? Oh, they're coming in from Denver to Salina. SkyWest Airlines. Mitsubishi CRJ200LR. Says it landed 2 minutes ago on flight radar. You can see it taxiing right now. Pretty neat. Okay, just to recap. Should be autopilot on, approach mode on. That's it. Basically, the only thing that you gotta worry about when we start getting up here is just flaring very little. Because if you end up pulling up too hard, you're gonna have the issue with disconnecting your autopilot. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and idle, just coast on down, since we're already going pretty fast. So basically all you're going to do is flare just to ease the landing and then brake as needed. Now I got a tailwind. By the way, please don't judge me on this. This is all autopilot. Technically I wouldn't be doing an approach like this. We're not even center line. Bad autopilot. Give it a little juice. It's a 2-mile long runway, so you can let it basically go all the way down if you wanted to. And so here we go. We're gonna flare. Flare. And we're gonna brake. There we go. And that's it, folks. I've already got the achievement, so you won't see it pop up on my screen by any means, but it should pop for you. If it doesn't, please let me know. I'll see if I can help. But other than that, thank you for watching. Peace.